Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, here today with Andrew Becker. And we're going to talk about, besides his journey in real estate and business, a couple other service-oriented businesses he spun off of his experience to really help real estate investors. Guys, remember, here at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business by providing tools and resources that help grow the business they want to have to live the life they want to live. So, Andrew, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, John. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited we finally got onto this platform versus our last talk, which was great. And I'm excited to talk more about some of these different companies. But before we get into all that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about you, kind of your entry into real estate business and kind of what brought you to today?
Sure. I'll go back at the beginning, John. Started right out of college, a career I was a civil servant in the Air Force. I worked at the Pentagon for 7.5 years.
Oh, wow.
In the Air Force nuclear enterprise, so nuclear stockpile, maintenance, all that good stuff. And then around in 2013, kind of around the time when HGTV had those, flip this house kind of shows going on, love it or list it. I started a real estate team and essentially what would be a second career with my buddy from middle school, one of my, my best friend from middle school. And with the, we wanted to start and just see if we could make something happen because we were always entrepreneurs at heart. During college summers, we would run painting companies together. So that was fun. We were like, why don't we stop doing this kind of rat race working for someone else and start our own business? So we started the McDonald Becker team in Arlington, Virginia that serviced the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And that's how we kind of got going. Our initial, first year, we did obviously sales, but our ambitions were to grow a team, and we grew a team together over, 10, 11 years, which is still operational today.
Wow. Okay. Now, if you've watched my podcast, I like to go back, right? So before, you were in college, what did you study in college?
I studied business entrepreneurship and management, and then I also got a master's in business management or administration as well.
Nice. And you were painting houses in the summertime. Where did the whole real estate bug come from? Like, was it from painting houses? Or did you have someone in your life, an influence or something that you read or studied or whatever that spurned that real estate drive?
Yeah, good question. So I guess we liked working with homeowners. So I didn't paint houses, John. We ran the painting company. So we hired painters, but I liked going into people's homes and meeting them and kind of going everywhere around Northern Virginia, DC, and Maryland. But then we decided to kind of stick with real estate after we did some trial and error. With me and my partner, we talked about starting a chicken sandwich company where we would,
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Have a little cart outside of the bars in DC when they got out at 3 a.m. and stuff like that. So we kind of made a list and said what would be fun, what would be, the most long term. And real estate kind of checked a lot of boxes for us. So we decided to get licensed. I actually did real estate and my career in the Air Force as a civil servant for a 2-year overlap. So I didn't jump in 100% right away for a lot of different reasons, but there's a 2-year kind of 2 different full-time jobs going on at the same point.
Got it. So you guys start your own, or you get your license, right? And this is doing traditional real estate, correct?
Yeah, just retail, helping buyers and sellers, correct.
Okay. What kind of were some of the struggles or things that you ran into when you started doing that, or kind of like the mindset changes that you maybe came across?
Yeah, I think the biggest one was you study for your license not really knowing anything, and then you get your license and you're like, cool, I'll go to some brokerage and I'll just start doing real estate, like start getting business, and then you're like, oh, this is a marketing business.
Yep.
The real estate's kind of like the secondary effect, but first and foremost, you have to market yourself. So we were like, how do we get a deal? And we started just to educate ourselves, got mentors, coaches eventually over time. But it was a pretty big struggle and a big kind of shell shock at first, because you didn't really know how it worked until you really, know how it works, right?
Right. How long did it take you to get your first listing, or closed listing, I should say, would be a better question.
I'm trying to remember. This is back in 2013, so it was quite some time ago. I think we might have done like friends, family kind of stuff first, but we got into, do you remember yellow letters? They were like the rage.
Oh, yeah.
We found some guy in, I think he was in like Pennsylvania, and he helped us build a list. We set certain criteria. And then he would just mail yellow letters. And then I remember he would send us this spreadsheet of everyone on the list. And then as people, fell off or we met with, we'd have to update the list. And then we just keep doing that. We got our first listing, I'm going to guess, John, and say maybe like 3, 4, maybe 5 months in.
Okay.
After that, because mail takes a long time. You know how that works. Like you have to send 7 pieces before people even recognize or realize who you are. But that's where we sourced our first listing from.
Okay. And in this time of you guys listing properties and whatnot, did you ever have the thoughts of, hey, maybe we should hold this one, or hey, maybe we could, take this one down and flip it or wholesale it or anything like that?
Not at first. I think we wanted to master what we were doing, and we had the ambition and the dreams of starting a team. So we needed to figure out how to tell someone else how to figure stuff out first, right? And you only know that by experience and lessons learned and, money spent, etc. So not at first, John, but I forget, I think in 16, maybe 2017, we started to actually, as we got into wholesaling, which we talked about, on our pre-call, we would sort of cherry pick the ones that we would want to flip. And we didn't do a whole lot of flips. I don't even know, maybe 5 at the most. But our bread and butter was retail and eventually wholesale, which kind of took majority towards the end of my time on the sales team.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Like, what spurred the switch to wholesaling properties? Were you just kind of seeing money left on the table, or?
I think it's a multitude of different variables here, but the biggest part was when we started actually tracking what we were doing and keeping, KPIs and analytics. of sales cycle for both retail, a retail listing, retail buyer, or a wholesale. The sales cycle was incredibly short compared to a listing, and the net income was like 2.8x what we were making from a retail listing. So
if you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
our average wholesale assignment fee up here when I was working was about 29K.
Nice.
So not a small number, and it was just a little faster and easier to flip that, flip the contract once we really got the hang of it. So we kind of started with like retail heavy and then a little bit of wholesale, like what's wholesaling? Should we, research and figure this out? Then when we started figuring it out and actually started seeing results from our automated, reporting that we were keeping, it went like this. And we were like, oh, why don't we wholesale? But the really cool part was we kept all that internal in-house. So if I got a lead from, you, John, and you said, hey, I wanted a cash offer, we would be able to go to the homeowner, you, and say, hey, John, tell us about your situation, play detective and figure out what you have happening. And then say, listen, it sounds like you need to sell fast for reason, A, B, C. We can buy your home in 2 weeks for X, or, if you do have some time, we also have a team at our brokerage and we can, renovate it for you, pay at closing and get you, $550 instead of buying it from you for $375. Right. So we kept that, the spectrum of options all the way from buying it ourselves to renovating it for them and selling it from a listing opportunity. So there was no opportunity cost for any of our leads. And before we were wholesaling, we had that opportunity cost because we would get, a lead from you, John, and you'd say, I just want to sell my house cash. I don't want to list it. I'm embarrassed, or for whatever reason, I'm in California, just like get rid of it. Right. And we'd have to be like, oh, shoot, they only want a cash offer. And we would kind of dead the lead. And then we realized we were leaving a ton of money on the table. So that's when we started really focusing on providing any option that, the homeowner really felt was a good fit for them.
And you have to do that nowadays because I think there's so many people out there that are doing that. When you switched into the wholesaling, did you seek out any mentorship? Did you seek out any coaching programs? I mean, I know that, your time with, as a real estate agent helped with talking to people and maybe underwriting and all that stuff. But did you seek out any additional like guidance?
Yeah, 100%. Especially off of like seeing this is around the time where social media started like really ramping up, especially in the wholesale arena. 100%. At first we did not, and we would just talk to people in our office. I'm imagining people don't really even go into the offices anymore, but when we did go into the office, we would say, hey, have you ever wholesaled? Do you know the different tactics around, that avenue? And then we started following people on like Instagram and Facebook, and then eventually they came out with coaching programs that we went through. Okay. So definitely did. It definitely helped expedite getting us from where we were. At the time, John, we were at like an 11.1%. And this was with a big team and overhead. We were at 11.1% profit margin, hired a coach, went through their program, and when we were finished, we were at like 36.6%. Beautiful. So it's an incredible ROI for anyone thinking about, coaches out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's learning from people who've already been there, saving time and money on mistakes. So right. Now so you were wholesaling, you were doing all this, you segued out of it. You kind of pulled yourself out of it and created a couple new companies. Let's talk about, the new companies and what services that you're providing.
Yeah. So the genesis or where those came from, I think is important. So as the team owner and the COO, I was in charge of operations and tech stack. So the systems, the processes, and then our lead gen vehicles as well. So
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
we wound up building out of necessity, like a lot of entrepreneurs tend to do, kind of two different avenues here. I'll start with our operating system first, John. We were like everyone else. There are famous or well-known platforms out there that we were on. I won't name drop any of them, but we were on about 5 over the course of my 11 years, where I would selfishly want it to do something for me automatically, so I didn't have to remember to do something. Ask people what happened on their appointments. Can I automate that? And I would hit a limitation around that function in platform X, right? And the solution was get Zapier and then go get solution A, and then B, and then C, and then D. And then at the end, what sort of turned into the prototype of Billions, the team operating system that we built and now we sell, was the CRM database, Zapier, and like 8 different softwares, all, integrated, talking to each other. I'm not a tech savvy person either. I architect and I come up with like the master plan, and I find good developers and integrators to build it for us. And, we have a dev team behind me that could talk much more about the integrations and the build out than I could.
Right.
But it was impossible to maintain for someone like me. It was expensive, and when something broke, I was at the mercy of whoever I got to integrate that certain connection. And I hit you up and say, "Hey, John, my forms aren't working. Can you help me? And it's killing my reporting." And you're like, "Dude, I could help you in like a week or 2, but you need to get on a managed services package because I don't sell hours one-off." And I'm like, "Man, I can't live like this."
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
It was just like that. And we would, not to mention, have to tell the team, "Oh, hey, everyone, we're learning a new platform next month. Oh, we're changing again." So there's that learning curve, the adoption, basically starting over. And then hitting another limitation around, it's not, this isn't the proper platform for us. So long story short, John, with that one, we built Billions on top of Salesforce for our own need. We're able to get rid of a ton of the day-to-day softwares or different third-party solutions by building it natively. And then we offer that to teams around the United States right now.
So what specifically does Billions do that other softwares don't, or maybe it does it better or whatnot? Like, what are the what are some of the key features?
Yeah, I think at a very, very high level, it's built on top of Salesforce, $250 billion company, data, privacy, security, which is big nowadays with certain acquisitions that I won't name, and then uptime. It never goes down. So we had a solid platform, and we can take advantage of the billions and billions and billions of dollars in development that they put to move into our product. But the big thing is, I always use an analogy that seems to resonate, is like, say you start the John team. And you're like, "Oh, I have to get a CRM, and then I want data and analytics, and then I want a dialer, and then I want document management, and then I want e-signature." And you have to figure all that out on your own, right? You're like, "Is DocuSign better or Panda? I don't know. I have, platform ABC. Can it talk to each other? How do I make it?" And you're figuring all this out, but you're also taking your time away from running your team and focusing on real revenue generating activities. For us, it's like, you want to start a restaurant, a burger joint, John. And you're like, "I got to source the beef, find the plot of land, build the building, figure out the branding, the naming, the kitchen, POS system, the training, hire people." Or you can just go get a McDonald's and
franchise. Buy franchise.
Right? Yeah. And they're like, "Here's the blueprint, John. We'll do everything for you." All you have to do is learn it and adopt it. That's kind of what we are and what Billions is for the team model. So we've been there, done that over my 10, 11 years of running a team and trial, error, blood, sweat equity, a lot of money, throwing away tech that ultimately didn't work out. And we can give that to all of our customers tomorrow. If you said, hey, I want Billions, you have it tomorrow. Obviously, there's an onboarding and migration from your old system that takes a little bit of time, but the build is there and there's no having to figure that part out. Uh, so it's an expedited way to get a true team model operating system running your operation that you don't have to spend a fortune on.
Is it easily customizable though, if people want to put in their own type of automation or other type of things like that?
Yeah, 100%. That's another big advantage of being on top of Salesforce, and one of the disadvantages of being on the other platforms that I ultimately had to leave. Again, because their solution was go get this software and integrate it with Zapier. For Salesforce, I don't like saying this, but it's almost needed. The sky's the limit with the type of customization you can do on Salesforce. You can literally, if you can dream it and you want to invest in it, you can build it in Salesforce. There's nothing that we have not been able to do for a team that's on our platform. Knock on wood, that we've run into so far. So that's a huge advantage. Especially we're talking about like the team model. I'm seeing a big shift in solo agents wanting to start teams and or join their own teams. They're almost recruiting as much as they're doing lead gen, right? For clients. We've built agent recruiting applications directly inside of Billions as well. So they don't even have to leave Billions to start recruiting. And each different pathway, so we track buyers one way, sellers one way, wholesales one way. It's included in Billions. And then now we're starting to see a trend of, hey, can you help me recruit? So there's 4 different kind of personas here. And we've actually had people ask us about property construction costs and that kind of stuff. We're not there yet. But for the agent part, that app is separate from, it doesn't cross over the retail or the wholesale piece. So you can have your own stages, your own fields, your own page layouts for each of the 4 personas with its own reporting behind the scenes that comes native and free. I think we offer now like 135 different reports across 8 dashboards for free. Jeez. So you don't even have to manually update a report ever again on Billions. It's one of the pros of coming over to us, and you could potentially get rid of your database and then your whatever you're using for your analytics.
Okay. And then you have another company here, Brighter PPC. What made you start a PPC company?
Yeah, kind of along the same lines. We were on different programs. Again, I won't name any of them, but it was kind of like a spray and pray model where you had to spend more money, and maybe they were making revenue share with Google, or maybe they weren't, or it was a percentage, but it was out of a necessity. So we said, hey, why don't we just try to figure this out on our own and keep it internal and at that point it wasn't like, and then we can sell it to people, right? It was just, we need this for our own company. So we interviewed and wound up partnering with someone who had been in the Google ad space at that time, 12 or 13 years. Now he's been in it for 20 years because we've been with him for about 7-8 years.
Right.
But we started 7-8 years ago with him and said, this is what we want. And we did a test between, retail Google ads and cash offer Google ads and all these different kind of Google ads. And we spent more than 7 figures on different landing pages, ad spend, campaigns, negative keywords, all that stuff that comes with it. Mm-hmm. And we optimized over time, right? We said, hey, let's try this. Oh, this is working really great. Cool. Put a fence around that. And then that was our number 1 lead source. And then how Brighter actually came about was we had a colleague in Arlington at the office, and we were competitors up here, but he moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, can you do what you did for your company in PPC down here? And we were like, I don't know, maybe. So we plugged in our strategy and our model, and it worked really well. And then by word of mouth, we acquired customers from the East Coast all the way to San
Nice.
Francisco, Los Angeles, and we're starting to fill in, the areas in between.
Nice. Well, it seems like you found needs and you fulfilled them, and that's what business is about. If there's folks that are listening on here, they want to reach out to you about either Billions or Brighter PPC, or just want to talk to you about your experience and maybe do some deals. I don't know. How could they reach out to you? How's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, social media. I'm on all the different platforms. So if you search my name and you can find me and connect there. Or we have two different websites for our two different companies. The first is joinbillions.com. And then the second one is brighterppc.com. So you can go there and check us out, schedule a demo, time to talk with either of those. Or just shoot me an email at AB for Andrew Becker, AB@joinbillions.com.
Cool. And we'll put all that stuff in the show notes. So guys, if you want to reach out, you'll be able to connect. Andrew, thank you for coming on here and sharing and talking about your businesses and your journey. I really appreciate it. Guys, hope you took some good notes, and we will see you on the next one.
All right. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.